Thank you very much, Dr. Sushil Dharmani, sir. Now I would like to introduce our distinguished guest, the chief speaker, the expert speaker of today's national webinar, Mr. Manoj Chhaya, sir. Let me present again. Mr. Manoj Chhaya has 15 years of higher education experience, worked at various capacities, including that of a principal of a state government college, Fulbright Fellowship grantee to USA, taught and studied at the University of Pennsylvania for 1 academic year. Most involved Resident Award by International House, Philadelphia. Certified in computer applications, quality management, and language teaching from agencies including 2 US universities. Member of the Gujarat Textbook Board for Standard 10 First Language. Peer reviewer for TESOL International USA. His latest book contains English translation of poems published with the grant from Gujarat Sahitya Academy. He has translated Jayant Khatri, Mauji Maheshwari, G.I. Patel, and Indrasa, among others. His translations include biography, abridgment, poetry, short stories, a historical survey, monographs, and non-literary texts too. Member of TESOL, ISTE, LTI, NBT, and FCT, among others. Articles are published by Rediff.com and Times of India too. He also happens to be a Senate member of Kutch University and is an IQAC coordinator for his college. He has taught a wide range of subjects, including English literary studies, general English, communication skills, professional communication, English for competitive examinations, human resource management, entrepreneurship development. He has been a part of pioneering ICT programs such as Intel Teach to the Future program. He has also conducted various sessions on platforms like BISAC and Santhan. So this is our expert speaker, and now without wasting much of our time, I would like to hand over the session to Manoj Chhaya, sir. Please.
Hello, good morning everyone. I personally welcome you to this webinar organized by Tolani Arts and Science College. And this morning we are going to talk about the scope and use of various tools and technologies which are available online, and how we can better equip ourselves, as Dr. Dharmani recently pointed out, that we need to equip ourselves, especially in the times like this, which are tough times of pandemic, and even further. We don't know what is in store. So today we are going to discuss some of the technologies and tools, and I hope we can all learn together. Before we start, let me quote Dr. Professor Diane Larson Freeman, and she once told me that, Manoj, remember, teaching starts with learning, and I think we all can do it together. So let's learn together. I will be presenting through the slideshow, and we will be moving through that. I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir, it is perfect.
Yeah,
it is perfectly visible.
Yeah, can you see my slide?
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah, I think it will appear now. Yeah, there we go.
No, it's not popping on the screen, sir.
Yeah, in a while it will be, because it is saying it is relaying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's there.
Yeah. All right. So this is our session today, and let's learn together. So, see, talking about scope, I think there is ample scope, and even before this time of pandemic, we had enough scope of using ICT as it is popularly known, and I'm sure we all have been using these tools and technologies, and this is something which is not quite new for us, but nevertheless, there is technology is something which is ever changing, and therefore, I think we must all unlearn and relearn. So, in this session, I think I'll start with conceptual discussion of online technologies and tools, which includes learning management systems or softwares, learning management platforms, educational technologies, edtech as it is popularly known, massive online open courses. So this will form the background of today's session. And then we will walk through the practical demonstration of certain tools and technologies that might be useful in our day-to-day practice once the session begins, I mean the term begins, the next term of academics. There are teacher-centric and student-centric views of these technologies. There are online course platforms that we can use like Google Classroom, and we will also see how we can better design and deliver and assess these courses that we run online. And then finally, there will be certain do's and don'ts that we should remember. So at the end of the session, I think our session outcome can be that we will be able to thoroughly understand the scope and relevant use of education technologies, and we will be better able to relate to various technologies and tools for online teaching and learning, while we confidently use some of the common tools and applications. And by doing all this, I think we will be able to deliver and design, if needed, some of the online courses and components. So, yeah, we will also be able to see the difference in our use of PC and laptop for this, or maybe it is mobile phone, which is the most versatile device that we have, I feel. So, how we can use it for academics, and we will be able to understand salient differences between technologies and tools, and how we can make informed choices, how we can choose what we should use at what time and for what need. We will be able to switch between various technologies, and for assessment we can design certain rubrics and learnings online. So we can also assess the courses that we run online. Now the session title says that online digital tools, and the question that immediately comes up is, what is online? So if you look at this term, which I looked up, it says online is the condition of being connected to a network of computers or other devices, and this term is frequently used to describe someone who is connected to internet. But in popular use, I feel online, the meaning of the word online is quite limited, because we often feel that online means connected to internet. But if you look at this meaning in detail, it is not so that internet is the prime requirement. Of course, without internet, almost everything stops, but nevertheless, there can be options without internet. So online refers to those options too. For example, server-based technologies, or even if you are connected to one computer and if you are doing something, or if you can involve students on one computer, even that is something. And I think we need to economize on resources, because just yesterday I think I could see one document which was issued from government authorities, and the document says that for the next financial year up to March 2021, there is almost no new purchases. So when it comes to investment in technologies, this is one of the challenges, but we are going to look at challenges and discuss them at the end of the session. So online, Oxford English Dictionary says that it's an adverb, and it simply means connected to a computer or under computer control. of course, by means of internet or other computer networks. So other computer network could mean local area network or whatever private networks that education institutes can establish. And that is the meaning of the word online. So we must, I think, broaden our understanding of the word online, and we should not keep looking for things which are just on the internet. However, most of the things are available on internet, and fortunately, we have good access to internet almost everywhere. There could be pockets of challenges in terms of internet access, but otherwise. Now, whatever we are going to do and discuss today is basically under something which is known as education technology. And education technology is, although very trendy in only recent years, if you look at the history of edtech, it goes back to 1954 when the well-known psychologist B.F. Skinner started experimenting with teaching machines that made use of program learning way back in 1954. That is almost 60, 70 years back. And that's when education technology starts. Although some people believe that even tablet and pencil, they are also a technology. Similarly, blackboard is also a technology, but that is only in the abstract sense of the meaning. But here we are going to talk about more concrete meaning of technology. So even in that concrete meaning, the education technology and the use of education technology goes back to 1954. So Skinner had designed what is known as teaching machines, and they were one of the first forms of computer-based learning. And of course, after that, we have come a long way, because recently we have seen the development of something called MOOC, MOOC. And MOOC stands for Massive Online Open Courses. Massive Online Open Courses. We are going to talk about MOOCs in detail when we go to that slide, and when we talk MOOC as one of the options and one of the tools for us. But let's quickly survey the history of education technology. And education technology is more in vogue because machine testing skills are found to be more efficient than human testing skills. Next landmark comes in the history of education technology when University of Illinois designed something called Plato. As you can see in the picture here, Plato was also a computer, and sometimes people mistakenly feel that Plato, the philosopher, is associated with education technology. Well, it could be, but for the time being, we are talking about this machine called Plato, which was designed in 1970s, and by the late 1970s, Plato comprised several thousand terminals worldwide. And this is how the computers started being used on a massive scale in 70s, starting from 70s. And even to this technology, it has almost been 40 years. And if you look at what all did Plato have, it comprised some of the very key ideas that we now have. If you look at the key ideas of computer-based learning or online learning or even internet, some of the key concepts like forums or message boards or online testing or chat rooms or email-based learning or instant messaging or remote screen sharing, as I am doing it right now, and even learning games were all part of this Plato machine for learning designed at University of Illinois. And the next jump comes with artificial intelligence, and that was in 80s. AI has its challenges, and it is still being developed fully for use in technology, but a study published by eSchool News indicates that by 2021, that is next year, there will be a jump of almost 47% compared to the beginning of AI in technology in education. So AI is going to be a part of our educational setup. Internet was launched in 1991, as we know it, World Wide Web, and the next step was learning management systems. learning management systems, and they were built on internet, and they were formally launched in 1995. Now, of course, there are various technologies like adaptive learning and learning analytics, which collects data about the learner and his or her learning style, and then modifies learning on the basis of that. Now, one of the biggest things that we have, biggest reality I would call it, in online learning and online education is MOOCs. MOOC, massive open online courses. And in 2008, three gentlemen in Canada started using MOOCs, and this was a community of practice that linked webinar presentations like this one or blog posts by experts to participants' blogs and tweets. And initially in 2008, the enrollments were not very many as we have today in millions, but they were just 2,000 enrollments. And the courses were open to anyone who had no formal qualification to join the course. But in 2012, there came a major leap from Stanford University computer science professors Andrew Ng and Daphne Koller. And they soon left the university for dedicating their time, full time, to this platform that they had built, Coursera. So Coursera and edX are two biggest platforms that we have today.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Chhaya sir, just a minute.
Yes.
Sorry to disturb you.
Not at all.
Megha Sankla ma'am, please turn your microphone off. Megha Sankla ma'am, who has joined later, please turn your microphone off. It is actually disturbing the presentation, sir. Megha Sankla ma'am, please turn the microphone off. Megha ma'am, if I'm audible to you, please turn the microphone off. Otherwise